welcome back to the Guts to Critique. Today we are reviewing Skeleton Crew, which is the newest Disney Plus Star Wars show, and we are going to share our thoughts with you.
The first point that we had was on the main characters, which are children, and I thought kid actors are very easy to pick on, but I thought these kids were kind of annoying.
They were not good. They got better as the show progressed.
Yeah.
But the best that they reached was, decent.
Yeah, they went from being, pretty annoying to just, alright.
I'm indifferent to them now.
So, in particular, one of them is named Fern. I thought she was just so annoying from beginning to almost end. I thought I could barely stand her. She was just so annoying. And then there was another character named Wim. He was slightly less annoying, but still kind of annoying. And then the other two kids I was kind of indifferent to. I didn't like them, I didn't hate them. They were just kind of there.
They still annoyed me. I feel like the actors, they're kid actors, you can't expect a lot out of them.
Yeah.
But the characters themselves were just written so poorly. It was just...
I think it was partly the writing, but I also think a lot of it was the execution, or the acting, that these kid actors are trying to be taken, super seriously, so they're acting like adults, even though they're kids.
And they are supposed to be acting like kids.
It was, I don't know, they were annoying.
I think that's all we can say. They just were... We did not like them.
The other main characters were Jude Law and the droid SM-33. They were easily
the
best thing about the show.
They carried the show.
Jude Law is just very charismatic, and his character has a lot of mystery to him, so he was a lot of fun. And SM-33 was my personal favorite character.
I agree.
He's the main droid. He's this pirate. The whole show is a pirate show. It's Goonies in the world of Star Wars, so it's this kind of pirate story. And I actually really liked that about it. We'll get to that in a minute. But SM-33 was very much a pirate character, and I really loved that about him. And he was just easily the standout character.
Same thing with the droid. I love the droid. He carried the show for me. But they kept redoing this one thing with him. The one thing happened to him, and they kept doing it.
Yeah, that was something about this show, is that it feels like they didn't have enough story to carry a full season.
Yeah.
So they kind of kept repeating different plot points. And in particular with SM-33, there was something that, it felt like it kept happening over and over again. And it's okay, I get that happened. And then they undo that, and it's oh, alright, well, I guess that didn't happen. And then they do it again, and then they undo it again, and then they do it again, and it's okay, I think it's for real this time, and then, nope, they undo it again.
Yeah, and you were mentioning that Jude Law, you appreciated all the mystery behind his character. I will say there was one thing that they didn't explain that I wish they did, and it was just kind of left unsaid, and I was okay, but what about this?
Yeah.
And I was I feel like we need to know how... We need to know this part of him, but we never learned that part of him, and that made it a little weird.
Yeah, and I feel like we're coming across very negative, but, I actually enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be, coming across as, oh, it was, super bad, the kids were annoying, and this and that. I had fun with it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But I think it's easily the best Star Wars show that we've gotten since Andor, but that's not really saying a whole lot. But I feel like it's just good. It's not great. It's just good.
One of my notes here is for the first half of the show, I had more dread than enjoyment for watching it. It was ugh, we have to go watch Skeleton Crew, okay. And then for the second half of the show, it's oh, Skeleton Crew, let's do it. So, it took a while for them to actually get me into it. And, I feel like it was 50-50 plot and 50-50 filler. So, it was balanced out, but it was, still the filler episodes were annoying.
I actually kind of disagree. I felt like I was never fully hooked or invested. It was always just kind of like, oh, there's a new Skeleton Crew, I guess we should watch that.
Yeah.
It was never like, oh, I gotta see what happens next. It was just like, okay, there's a new episode.
Yeah, like, I wasn't necessarily, like, excited about it. I was just like, okay, yeah, let's watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't dreading it, is what I'm saying.
But yeah, like, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the Star Wars shows at a future point, but I hated The Acolyte.
I forgot about that.
I kind of hated Mandalorian Season 3. I did not hate this show. I did not suffer through it. Like, I didn't... You said you dreaded the first... I did not dread watching this at all. Like, it wasn't painful to watch. It was just... It was good. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it this way. I was more annoyed with the characters than I was sympathetic. So, like, you're supposed to be able to connect and relate to characters. You're supposed to feel stuff for them. I felt nothing for these characters. I was just annoyed. And so that made the show very hard to get into.
I feel like they did a decent job with 2 of the kids. The 2 that I said weren't annoying or as annoying. I actually thought they did a good job with them. They gave them, like, some depth and stuff.
Was it Neil and KB?
Yeah.
Were those their names?
Yeah. I actually thought that they were pretty sympathetic. I actually kind of liked them.
Yeah.
It was Wim and Fern that I thought were just really annoying. They had they had, like, one defining characteristic, and then that was it. And they, like, just took it to the extreme.
Yeah. That was annoying.
And... yeah, kind of going back to what I was saying before, this truly is a pirate show.
Yeah.
And so George Lucas, when he was making the original trilogy, he took a lot of inspiration from, like, outside influences. So, like, Akira Kurosawa, classic westerns and serials and stuff. He took inspiration from, like, his favorite things, even took from, like, mythology and lore. And so, like, he had, like, that outside influence. Current Star Wars is influenced by old Star Wars. It's reminding you of, like, what you love. Like, oh, here's Luke Skywalker. Oh, look who it is. It's Chewbacca. Oh, look who it is. It's Boba Fett. And it feels like we've lost a lot of, like, what makes Star Wars special.
We've lost the charm.
This show kind of gets back to that just a little bit, where it actually does draw from outside inspiration. It's inspired by the Goonies and classic Amblin films. So I actually really appreciated that about this show. It, like, had, like, a charm to it. It had something that made it kind of stand out a little bit more than some of the other Star Wars shows that have come out recently. So I liked all that stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
And though I was never fully hooked, I still had a lot of fun. It's just that there are some very noticeable flaws in here. I think they needed to iron out some of this stuff for me to be, like, truly, like, really positive on it, but I still had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And I'm down for a season 2 if they ever do one. Or I'm okay seeing these characters again. I'm okay if they continue the story.
Just as long as they make them better. As long as they fix the characters.
Well, they ended them on, like, an okay note.
Yeah, and I think on that note, I do want to say, overall, I enjoyed the show. Like, I wasn't mad at it, but, like I enjoyed it. But there were some scenes that I was like, okay, that was stupid, or that was just totally pointless. One scene in particular with the droid, I don't want to spoil, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But it was like, we didn't need that, though. Why'd you do that? And like, some of the effects were bad. Like, in that scene with the droid, it's like, why does he look so janky?
I disagree. I thought all the effects were pretty great.
Well,
like they use a lot of practical effects, and so sometimes it feels like they're trying too much with it. That was my only thing. Like, one of the characters, Neil, his character, like, he is, like, fully, like, makeup and, like, in a suit and stuff.
He's basically an elephant.
Yeah, he looks kind of like a little elephant. And at times, it felt like they were going a little bit too far, or, like, they weren't trying hard enough. Where, like, sometimes he'd be talking, and the sound just would not sync with his mouth at all. And some of that is because, like, his mouth is kind of hidden by a trunk. But like even like when he like kind of look up and you could see his mouth moving, it'd be like very basic, like this kind of thing, and it wouldn't sync up with what he was saying.
It honestly looked like a sock puppet, but works.
A sock puppet?
Like when someone takes a sock and they're like, "Oh hi," like it kind of looks. I mean, you can tell it's not saying like la 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 la, but it at least looks decent. His was just like, "Oh hi," and then it would keep moving a little. And it would stop. I don't know. That was just my opinion.
I did not get that impression at all.
That's how I felt about it. But yeah, and I mean, it was heavy makeup, and it was like a little kid, and like there's a trunk, so I can't really blame him. But like,
honestly, I don't have like a ton more to say.
Me either. I think that's it.
Like, I thought it was charming and fun.
Yeah.
I think it's like aside from like the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian and Andor, I think this is easily the next best Star Wars show that we've gotten, because all the others, they have great stuff, but they also have a lot of really terrible stuff. I feel like this show, it didn't have a lot of great stuff, but it didn't have a lot of bad stuff either, so it kind of just evened out, and it was good. It was okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think that's really all we can say. It's just, honestly, I'm gonna hate that I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna hate that I'm gonna say it.
Oh my God.
It was cute. It was cute. It was cooler than it was cute, but it was like just a nice little show. And I hate that I say that, but like I feel like there's no other way to describe it for me.
I mean, I see what you're saying, and I think it is like a good, like, family show.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Overall,
you're like trying to recover that I just said that. You're like, yeah.
Overall, I'd give it like a soft like 7 out of 10. It was good. Like,
I forgot about the rating. I didn't come up with. I would say.
Like certain episodes were better than other episodes. So.
If we did it based on episode, I would definitely have a very fluctuant grade.
Yeah.
But based on the overall show, I'd give it like a. I won't do a range. I guess I'll give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I think I saw more flaws in it than you, because you were really appreciating the pirate. It's like based on other stuff, like it got inspiration from other stuff, versus me, who was just sitting there trying to enjoy a Star Wars show, and it was just like not it for me. And so I mean, it was definitely, I agree, it was definitely better than some, but like even Ahsoka, I think parts of it I would have preferred over this. Like overall, Ahsoka was not my favorite, but parts of it I would have preferred over this show. So
I think if you're a Star Wars fan who's been like burnt out on Star Wars recently, I think if you go into this with the right expectations, I think you'll have a good time with it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think like it's not gonna offend you the way that some of the other Star Wars shows probably did. So although the Star Wars fan base is really hard to get a gauge of, where some people love certain Star Wars projects, other people hate them. Some people love The Last Jedi. I think those people are nuts.
Yes, nuts! The size of boulders.
Some people love The Acolyte. I think those people are almost even weirder.
Some people loved Rogue One when they first saw it, and we did not, and then we got older and we're like, oh, it's just a more mature movie.
But yeah, I really love Rogue One.
Yeah, so I think it's like,
but like
it's really weird.
Some people love Return of the Jedi, like myself. Other people don't like it, which I don't understand. I think it's great.
Wait.
Episode
8. Nope. Oh my god, why can't I speak? Frick! And then,
You're sitting here judging the Star Wars
I feel like it
show,
has something to do with Sith.
and you don't even know
I feel like it has something to do
what
with
episode
the Sith.
5 is called.
I feel like it has something to do with the Sith.
It has nothing to do with the Sith. I think this part of the
Empire
episode...
Strikes Back!
This part is gonna air on TV, Lexi. This part, everyone's gonna know that you're a fraud and a failure, and that you're not a real Star Wars fan.
I'm sorry, they're all named incorrectly! You have proven this! People on YouTube have proven this! They are not named accurately! I'm sorry that I didn't remember The Empire Strikes Back was episode 5 when it should be something else! Okay. Which one comes first, Solo or Rogue One? Wait, is there another? No! I've injured my... I
The
apologize!
static is making your hair fall.
Oh no! Oh my god! What did you do to my hair?
Final recommendation?
Watch it if you're willing to risk it. No. Actually though, like I think if you saw the trailer and it intrigued you, and if you're a Star Wars fan that's like, I could go for more. Yeah, go in with the right expectations and it won't disappoint you. I don't think it'd exceed any expectations, honestly, but it definitely won't disappoint you if you set the standard. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, and I think that's it. And I'm gonna try and wrap this up before you hit me with the pillow again.
Why don't you close us out?
Thank you so much for watching. We would love to hear your review, so you can email us. And we can also do legacy reviews, so movies that came out before, if you want us to review them, let us know at our email. And I think that's it. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up, so stay tuned. Yeah, that's really it.
We'll see you all next time.